Hey everybody, today we are doing an audit for PrintExpress, Missouri. Here is the main site. First thing right off the bat that I notice, it looks like there is a mixture of English and Spanish in regards to like services. Let's see here. Okay, so right off the bat, I think it's great to have both. Typically, best practices would be to have a Spanish and English version of your website so that you could reach out. Right now, what's happening is we have all of the wording in English, but the buttons are in Spanish. And this is just for me. Based on that, we see a mixture of English and Spanish down here, which is good. Based on that, what I would suggest, which is good for SEO, is changing the site based on the browser language. So if my browser is in English and set to English settings, then I will see English text. Where if my browser is set to Spanish settings, like a lot do, then I will see Spanish text. And this is a simple fix that can be made within your website. Let's see who is running your website right now, because that does depend based on the site that you are running. So US Starfield. Oh, so this was built with GoDaddy. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, they definitely have browser settings available for you. I do see something up here though that's worth checking out. Okay, so a few errors that are going to, I'll just focus on the ones that are going to affect SEO. Your favicon, which is basically this logo up at the top that you see here. That's not showing up. It looks like it might be missing. And then whatever this markup ad is, I'm not sure what that is. So those are two things that we see just inspecting the website. So I'm going to pull up this tool here. This is called Screaming Frog. So what we're going to do with this tool is, as I take through the rest of the audit, we're just going to run a simple audit here. It's going to start crawling the website and kind of pull out any potential issues that we see. While that's scanning, let's take a look at the page speed. So overall mobile performance, we always want to optimize for mobile. Isn't bad. It's pretty average overall. The biggest thing that I can see right off the bat is, again, we see the images here. Images are a little bit long or a little bit big, and I think we can reduce that page speed and increase performance pretty immediately just by reducing some of the image sizing. Proof of concept here is if we save the image and then we open it up, we can look at the info on the image. Let me pull it out of my downloads. That'll be easier. Info on the image. Okay, we can see it's a 209 kilobytes on the disk. It's actually not as big as I was originally expecting based on some of these insights, but still best practices is you would want to see that image under 100 kilobytes. Accessibility, image elements don't have alt attributes, links don't have discernible names. Some of the links are not distinguishable, and the heading elements are not in order. So these are things that will affect how Google, one, reads your site and deciphers if it's relevant or not. But two, these are legal requirements for ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act. These are things that you could be liable for and could be potentially sued in civil court for if they are bad enough. So this is just, one, it affects SEO, and two, save yourself some money. Don't get a lawsuit. Cool. So we saw the browser errors in the console. We just went over those. All right, let's go through what Screaming Frog pulled up. All right, so right now, do not see a lot of pages on the site, which is fine. I think the only thing here is there's less keywords that you have the ability to rank for with the less pages that you have on your site. So increasing those pages, increasing those service pages, we have, if we go through here and we look at the shop, pages pretty slow to load that we're seeing now. All right, page is not loading. Let me try to reload. So this is a big issue. The shop's not loading on the page. But basically what you want to do is, what are the different types of print services that you have? So you have embroidery, screen printing, vinyl lettering and logos, business cards, restaurant menus. Okay, so all of these should be its own page, just kind of explaining things. They should also be here. I think that's good to have it here, but they should be their own pages. This will help give you more ranking power on Google. The biggest thing with a lot of websites is people think that websites are going to be read. People do not read your website, they scan it. And so with this website, the issue that I'm having, even with the minimal Spanish that I know myself, is my brain is kind of going through something, scanning the website and seeing English into Spanish. So I'm having a hard time kind of deciphering quickly what your site is saying, which is going to make a lot of users going through your site. It's going to make it slower for them to go through your site, or they're going to get confused. And creating a bad experience that way might prevent you from converting those users in the future. All right, so doesn't look like there's a lot of pages, so this is accurate. Let's look at some of the issues. We are seeing content duplicates. So the shop and then the cart. Okay, so first thing, we don't want the cart indexable. We want to take this off of Google. We don't want people to be able to search for that. So that's probably why you're seeing a duplicate issue there. That's a simple fix. Just telling Google not to crawl that. Low content pages. There's not a lot of pages. Page titles. There's some duplicate page titles, and a lot of these issues, what it looks like, is coming from the fact that we have that cart page indexable. If we block that cart page, then some of these issues will disappear overnight. Missing some heading tags, duplicate H1 tags. These are all issues that are going to affect how Google crawls your site, and so these are things, if you want to rank well within Google, we gotta fix these issues. Let's look at site health overall and SEO health over time. So looks like the site's been around for just over 2 years here, starting in January 2023 or December 2023. Overall, it's not, we're seeing a lot of keywords, dips and valleys, keywords decreases, keywords increases based, just on time. It doesn't look like there's a lot that's being done on the site that is causing these. This is just kind of the natural ebbs and flows of Google. Low authority on the site looks like it's increasing though, which is good, and it seems there's a decent spike in traffic right now. So curious what that's from, if that's a specific campaign that you're running, or if you have a lot of people going to the site. Overall keywords that we're ranking for here: PrintExpress, we're ranking for the brand name. The issue with this brand name, and which is why we're probably in position 9. So you want to be ranking number 1 for your brand name. It doesn't look like you have any number 1 ranking keywords. So if you run ads, if you do anything, if people search your site, they aren't going to see your content, because, and especially in the 9 position, you're barely on that first page of Google. And with everything else that we're seeing on Google, it's chances are is that you're not showing up. Good proof of concept of this is if we type in press. All right, so we see ads right here that are showing up. We see places. This is you, so showing up good in that place there. Fantastic. And then showing up number 1 first result on desktop. So that's good. Separate there. Okay, so that's good that you're showing up number 1. But as you can see, look at everything that is above the brand, above that first result. That's why it's so important to make sure that you're showing up at least number 1 for your brand name and everything else. Cool. Everything else, there's just a lot of keyword cannibalization here. Really not ranking for much outside of combinations of Express and print. So expanding those keywords, if people aren't just going to be searching those 2 keywords when trying to find your services, they're going to be searching a variety of keywords. We can just do a quick oversight of printing services in general. And I mean, obviously outside of the 3D printing, we're seeing a lot of questions where people are, looking for printing services, over 60,000 results of people looking for printing services. So it's really important to expand that keyword base overall. But I think the biggest takeaway from this audit, outside of just keywords, because keywords and expanding that is huge, but one of the biggest takeaways here is the fact that this does not work. This needs to be solved quickly, because this will get people to just abandon your site immediately. So definitely fix this. Number one priority, site speed. Second, so user experience, site speed, making sure people can read your site easily, and then start expanding those service pages. All of this stuff should be relatively quick to do. Do it right, and I think we'll be in a good spot with this website. So thanks.